Amala's newest song just dropped, Baum Kuhin End Roll, and in it, Akita Neru has become a force of absolute chaos. It's fantastic. It's thrilling to see her in this new horrific form, and it's terrifying. The thumbnail made me think it was going to be super happy, like, something great to close off the year, like a nice little treat. But instead, this bro's out here ruining my holidays. I'm emotionally deficit right now. So let me evict some of these feelings. The song itself, it's fantastic. It's good. It's really good. Like, the music is obviously top notch, but I'm gonna look a little bit at the imagery here and mostly at Neru's portrayal. She's evil. She sucks. She got me thinking about how insignificant I am. Like, hello, I'm trying to enjoy my time off here and not think about the ever-consuming machine of capitalism and its finest creation, the algorithm. You can read Neru as like a lot of things here, namely as like an enormous jackass whose kink is NTR, which makes Miku just like a total sheep and Teto as the biggest chump, which is like a fair and fun way to read this whole story. But I like reading this in another way, with Neru being the devil. The devil manifesting itself as an algorithm-chasing yellow asshole. I imagine she's like an evil Mr. Beast. She's maximized the pain she can extract from the algorithm instead of like the money she can extract. Either way, it's horrific and I can't look away. Starting off with the case for Neru as the devil in the algorithm, the snake hairpin is the biggest giveaway on this. Serpents are used to represent the devil and temptation in a lot of media. We all have probably heard the story of Eve and how the devil took the form of a serpent to trick Eve into eating the forbidden fruit. Blah blah blah. There's some other stuff about indulgence and disobeying God, whatever. People use this symbolism in a lot of different ways, but temptation tends to be the easy sub-in when it comes to allegories with the serpent. It's good. It works here too, and it makes a lot of sense looking at Teto and Miku's desires here. Both of them seem to be wanting recognition, actually, especially after looking a little bit more at their lines. Now, I'm going off of machine translation, so take this with a grain of salt, but Teto's first lines are talking about how she still isn't rewarded. Then coming up to Miku's lines, I'm interpreting this to be about moving on to the next big thing that excites her, but also about wanting to be memorialized in the form of videos. Now, that last part, that last interpretation is probably a little bit iffier, but the fact that Neru spent a lot of time filming her does give a little bit of credence to that idea. Like right here, Miku's center stage here for Neru's video, who's recording and producing a video starring her. At least that's what it looks like to me. Then we come up to Neru's parts. Her motives here actually just seem to be entirely mean-spirited. It seems like she's more bored than bitter about the recognition that Miku and Teto currently have, like in a meta way. Like it seems like she wants to spoil the fun just for the sake of it rather than any substantial feelings of bitterness. If anything, it might just be pure selfishness or maybe completely arbitrary because she just wants to see chaos. Nobody just says misfortune tastes sweet unless they love seeing people in pain, okay? Now, Neru's taking advantage of people's desires, what people want to see and what people want to have, prettying herself up and catching Miku's attention, literally putting on blush, putting on the same crown Teto and Miku were wearing, making herself look like them. It seems to me that Neru knows that Miku has a dream of recognition herself and is absolutely pouncing on that by promising that she can be the one to give it to her. Later in the song, she labels herself as the hacker that destroys peace, like the one who knows that she's the one that can cheat the system. It seems like she's promoting some idea or herself to entice Miku, who's like practically a sheep. They're like brain empty with no thoughts kind of person, it seems like. Easily susceptible to temptation seems to be the idea here. We have the one line of the princess who got the wrong idea that can easily be read as Miku who's being misled or deceived. And there's also lines in this song about being left to God's mercy and about how the majority can't accept responsibility. There's like a lot of good stuff here. I like it. Neru here is acting like this modern unseen force that guides people and like creators specifically. Like the unseen hand of God or maybe like the cruel hand of the algorithm. It's good. It's great stuff. This video is so much. It just gives a vibe of the world being cruel and that there's nothing you can do about it. But also, Neru is a cruel world, okay? She's the one putting up the rain cloud and deciding where the sun gets to shine. She's the one deciding where the spotlight shines and directing the attention of people, or rather than people, where Miku should be looking. First at Teto, but then to herself. Neru's freaking evil, okay? That's great. Now, I don't want to talk about Mesmerizer, but I also need to talk about it for like 5 seconds. And the start of the triple Baka revival. Neru being a gremlin and a force of chaos is really, really good stuff. And as I remember it, the accusations of her being a dick kind of started with Mesmerizer, like launching all of Vocaloid back into relevance, I guess. Despite the complete lack of like the yellow one's existence in that MV, people wanted the triple Baka gang back. People were coming up with costumes for her, and then we had people like getting into this idea that she was the one behind the scenes running the show to like account for her absence in the MV. It was like some fun gag stuff going on. I liked it. It was fun. And then Sansaki released Obsolete and actually took this energy and made it legit. Like Neru was the one calling the shots behind the scenes. It was good. It was good. Obsolete has extremely similar energy to Baゥムクゥヘンand Roll in terms of imagery, but I think that song is more deliberately criticizing the absolute monster of a fandom that erupted from the video itself, like from the Mesmerizer video. And it was criticizing like people not engaging with the meaning behind the music and almost like in a roundabout way being like, yo, you guys are literally falling into this idea of escapism that this song is commenting on. It's like the Obsolete was a direct criticism of, in my opinion, it was a direct criticism of people just like not engaging with the actual idea behind Mesmerizer. It was crazy. And Mesmerizer's popularity was insane. Like the content, the boom of it exploding in the way it did is interesting because I feel like it kind of paralleled the Undertale fandom's weird, like, I don't want to say anything too crazy, but like the weirdness and like the crazy boom it had. But anyways, not here or there. There's like a whole nother discussion to be had on Sansaki Deco 27 and like channel completely revitalizing the entire Vocaloid space globally, but that's not my point. My point is this song, Amalesnia's song, Baŭムクゥヘンend credits, it's great. It's fantastic. I think there's been a huge surge of producers making content that is deliberately commenting on the ongoing developments of like the music sphere and Vocaloid, as well as some pretty thought-provoking stuff about just how social media is rotting out heads and being abused as a form of escapism. And yet, despite how terrible this new song makes me feel, it's actually a kind of gentler way of poking at the whole idea of chasing social engagement. That might be a weird way to put it, but I really do think so. It doesn't completely sidestep the real frustrations with the current landscape of the internet, but it does let people have fun with it, poking fun at everyone's relationships with each other, whether it's as content creators or content consumers. Like, yeah, it makes me feel miserable, but at the same time, there's a bit of a softer message to it as well, I think. And it really is like, yeah, you have personal responsibility for yourself and your actions, but also you can't control everything. Some stuff is just out of your hands. And the whole world might just be running off the arbitrary whims of one yellow psychopath.